What's up, guys? This is Joe14, and I'm here with a special episode of Facecast. Because a lot of the new Star Wars 2014 sets have been shown off by various different sites, including Hoth Bricks and Brick Ultra, Brick Set. I decided to do an analysis/review of all the sets that are coming out, because they, in my opinion, are fantastic. I am always excited about new Star Wars waves, but this one is just one to put in the record books. It looks amazing. There are tons of new designs, and I'm going to quit talking about this because you guys want to hear about the sets. So, I'm going to start off with an analysis of a few things that you guys have seen in the sets that are more of a broad thing. You guys will know what I'm talking about as soon as I start, so yeah. So as you guys know, recently there was a release of basically all the pictures for all the new Winter 2014 sets. With a few exceptions, they did not show the Micro Fighter sets, which I have very little interest in, so I'm not going to be reviewing them. I might throw in a few thoughts on them, but I won't be doing any analysis on those. Basically, they released photos of all but two sets, including the Droid Tri-Fighter and the Coruscant Police Gunship. Those were released today, so I'm going to be also reviewing those, throwing them all together. A lot of the people who were reviewing them earlier on did not include those, but I will be including those. So as many of you guys know, there have been two interesting things that LEGO has added to these new sets. The majority of them include one or the other. There are a few exceptions, but LEGO has released a new design for blasters. They are basically little miniature launchers. They look like what you could say the old megaphone design for blasters that LEGO used to use, where they just stick a stud on the front. Except for there's a new thing to it that there's a little lever on the top. You attach a stud to the front of it, and when you press down on the lever, it launches them. You guys will probably be seeing a picture of it. I'm not completely sure what I think about this. I think it's a cool idea, but it just doesn't really fit with Star Wars. I would have preferred to see a new blaster design, or just stuck with the old design, because it doesn't seem right. I personally will probably take off all of these when I'm setting them up and just replace them with the old blasters, which is not something I'd like to do. I would rather have included normal blasters. Now I'm going to have to go order a bunch of extra ones. They look okay, but they just don't fit the lineup. I could have seen this fit better with the Chima sets or something like that, or maybe just have a few of them thrown in. But it seems like all the battle packs, with the exception of the Death Star Troopers, who have the Royal Guards have staffs. Aside from that, every single one of the battle packs has a design that includes those blasters as the main weapon, and then we've got a lot of the bigger sets just have the normal blasters. It just doesn't seem right to me for them to do that, but I'm not going to complain until I actually see how they work, but I will probably end up replacing them with normal blasters and then using them for something else. The second thing is the spring-loaded launchers. Basically, it's an enlarged version of the minifig ones. They are basically a 1x4 brick with a Technic pinhole going all the way through. I don't know exactly what they look like, but based off the pictures from the battle on Saleucami, you can see that on the front of the speeder, it seems like it's a 1x4 brick with a sort of design that has a light gray on top and dark gray on the bottom. And then this interesting brick that is the bullet piece, I guess you could call it. They come in red and green, and then more recently, we've seen in the Coruscant Gunship, they include two blue ones. Yeah, the blue ones are exclusive to that set. None of the other ones that we've seen contain the blue ones. If that matters to you, I guess I just noticed that. It's kind of interesting, but basically how it works is you press down on the top. I believe this is how it works. This is what I got from it from reading on Hoth Bricks. You place pressure down on the top, and it launches the bullet out. I'm not sure exactly if that's how it works or if it slides back, but it seems an interesting move. I like it in all the sets except for the Bark Speeder, because that's not canon at all. It's not really on the front of the speeder. I don't know why they decided to put it in that set. Maybe it's because they're trying to really push that new piece, but it just doesn't seem to fit in that set. All the other ones, it seems like it makes sense, though. I like the design. It's a lot better than flick fire missiles. I mean, most of you guys are probably sick of all the flick fire missiles. They don't really work. They're kind of lame in my opinion, and I guess it is kind of expensive to include the large rocket launchers in a lot of sets, so they decided to go with something that's still spring-loaded, but it's smaller and more compact and less expensive to produce. Which brings me to another thing. With the new 3 battle packs, I'm wondering if the new spring-loaded minifigure launchers will cause an increase in price for the battle packs. We have not seen actual prices, but as you know, about 8 years ago, battle packs were around $10, and then when the Clone Wars came out, they bumped it up to $12, and the more recent sets are $13, and I'm wondering if with this new design, LEGO will use it as an excuse to raise it to $15, because they've been increasing the price over time. That would kind of bum me out, mainly because it doesn't seem exciting enough to pay the extra $2, especially because battle packs are bought in mass, and you probably would not want to spend extra money when you're trying to just aim to get the figures and the vehicles. So that is pretty much it. I will get into the actual sets now. Alright, so the first set in our lineup is the Death Star Troopers set. Now this is a battle pack. I'm guessing, I will give price guesses for all the sets. I'm guessing this one will probably be $13, although if my idea that maybe the minifigure spring-loaded launchers will increase the price of battle packs, it may be $15. Although I'm hoping that won't be the case and it will keep at the normal $13 price. But the minifigures included are 2 Death Star Troopers. I believe this is a new helmet design. As you guys can see from the photos, they do have printed legs and printed torsos, which is very nice. And then the Imperial logo on the helmet. They also include 2 of the spring-loaded minifigure launcher thingies. And then, as you can see, we also have 2 Royal Guards with just standard black heads. Something to note, though, is that they have dark red arms and hands, which is very nice. LEGO hasn't released Royal Guard in a long time, and it's nice to see a new one. I would have liked to see printed legs and new torsos, but it looks like it's just the same design, aside from the new dark red arms. This is also a good way to get your hands on extra red capes, because there are 2 included in this set. Also, the cannon looks very accurate. It seems to make sense, although I would have preferred something else. I'm not sure exactly what, maybe a drop ship or something. Although it's a decent design, it's also a good way to get your hands on a lot of the new miniature slopes, the 1x2 slope pieces. I've been meaning to get my hands on a bunch of those, and unfortunately they're not included as nicely in the 2013 sets. So yeah, that is pretty much it on that set. Moving on to our next set, the Kashyyyk Troopers. Now, this is one of my favorite sets. I would have never even imagined that LEGO would design figures this well. It's a little disappointing to see the minifigure launchers included in this set, because it kind of taints it, but it looks phenomenal. The figures have just so much printing on them. Aside from the arms, I believe every single piece is printed. Oh, and the hands. They look very accurate, although the Kashyyyk, the standard Kashyyyk Troopers, the ones with the normal Episode 2 or Episode 3 helmets, are not really part of the canon. The only trooper that had that helmet design was Grievous, which we will be talking about a little later on. He is included in one of the sets. they still do look fantastic, and I really can't complain that much. Then there are the Scout Troopers. I guess you could call them ARF Troopers. I'm not sure what they're called in Episode 3, but they also look fantastic. The leg printing looks great, alongside the design for the new Ewok village, fitting in with the different printed leg design. The helmets look fantastic with the green visors. I believe they have the same faces included with the Episode 2 clones. And then we have the Swamp Speeder. Well, I wasn't a huge fan of the Swamp Speeder back when they released it with Barriss. It was a pretty good design, and I do like how they've downsized it. Most of the time when LEGO makes a battle pack and they downsize the vehicle, it just doesn't really fit. But this one seems to fit well when it's downsized. It still retains its appearance. You can still tell it's a Swamp Speeder, and it doesn't look quite wrong. Another interesting thing I noticed while I was looking at this set, it includes two of those, I can't really think of what they're called. They're like robot arm pieces. This has been an awesome piece. I actually only own one of them myself. They've been kind of hard to get recently because they're a new piece, and LEGO doesn't like releasing cool new pieces like that. Also, there is an interesting thing. I don't know exactly why they decided to do this. Maybe it's because of the size of the box, but if you notice the piece connecting the top of the wheel thing going down to the front, they use two 1x3 tiles rather than using one 1x6 dark red tile. I'm not sure if it's because 1x6 dark red tiles don't exist, or if they just wanted to flood us with more 1x3 tiles. I can't really complain that much, just something I noticed. And that is pretty much it for this set. This is probably one of my favorites, and this is definitely one of the ones that I will be getting plenty of multiples of. This is definitely one of the Army Builder sets. Moving on to the Utapau Troopers. This is another great Army Builder set. I never really would have expected LEGO to release so many clones in 1 year, but I can't really complain. It looks fantastic. If LEGO can produce a lot of clone troopers and print them well, I'm very happy. As you can see, they have all four of them have printing on the legs. Two of them are just standard 2/12 troopers, and then you'll notice we have two airborne troopers. This is a bit of a surprise. I own several custom airborne trooper helmets, so I'd pretty much given up on the idea that LEGO would ever produce them, and then it's kind of a surprise that they just come out of the blue and decide to make airborne trooper helmets. But they look fantastic. They've got great printing designs. Again, unfortunately, they have the minifig launchers. They just really don't fit with the set. And then we have an Octopura droid that is reasonably downsized. It looks okay downsized, but I don't know. There's nothing really that exciting about it. It would have been nice if they would have printed the half ball piece on the top. It would have made it fit better, I guess, but I can't complain too much. And then 3 flick fire missiles across the top. That's pretty much it for that set as well. Moving on, we have the Battle on Saleucami. This is an interesting set. It's basically a play set. I don't really know how else to describe it. Just the design of it, it's got terrain and then 2 vehicles. It just feels like a play set similar to Duel on Geonosis and a few other sets that LEGO has released that just have a more play-y feel to it rather than just buying it for the Star Wars design to it. It's got more of a LEGO stuff thrown into it that LEGO's changed. This is good in some ways. If you'll notice, all of the figures, except for the one on the staff and the one on the Bark Speeder, have a sort of 1x2 plate with a little terrain on it for them to stand on. And then there is a forest type setup with what may be a turret station. I don't know what that is, where It has some bullets in it with a printed piece, and then some leaves and stuff like that. The main thing to notice is the two vehicles. We have a new staff that is fantastic. We have not seen that in quite a while, and I don't know about you, but I love getting a lot of staffs. Unfortunately, the only real way to get them was in the Mace Windu Starfighter, which I did not get, and then the old 2008 Clone Wars ATTE. Unfortunately, I got one of those, but my staff is completely destroyed, and it only came with one. It's nice to see that, and because of the likelihood that this will probably be $25 to $30, it will be a good way to get more staffs. Now, if you'll turn your attention to the BARC speeder, I personally dislike the speeder a lot. LEGO has completely destroyed the front in order to fit the spring-loaded launcher into. I like the spring-loaded launchers in almost every other set, but I dislike it in this one because it just doesn't really work. LEGO has just completely destroyed the front. They have two tiles, modified tiles, and then just a bunch of pieces on top. This will probably be a set where I remove the launcher and the 1x2 brick behind it, and then figure out a way to lower the pieces so it doesn't look so awkward. But the highlight of this set, well, we get 4 minifigures that we've seen before, just 4 regular droids. We have a new, what they call a BARC Trooper, but everybody who looks at it knows it's Neo. It looks fantastic. The printing on him is great. They have the straps for his satchel. It just looks fantastic. There isn't a whole lot to say, but it's just great. The printing is flawless. It's fantastic. Moving on, next set on our list is the Jedi Interceptor. Now, I don't know about you, but I think LEGO has released quite a few Jedi Interceptors. I can't even keep track. They've released the Clone Wars versions dozens of times, and quite a few times they released the Jedi Interceptor Episode 3 version. It gets kind of old, but this one is kind of a highlight. It looks, in my opinion, great. It's very accurate. I also like the idea of having another spring-loaded launcher. It seems to fit in this set, and I would imagine using it. Also, a decent amount of new pieces, including a very cool-looking printed 1x1 round tile with the Republic logo on it, and then a new R2-D2. I believe that's a new R2-D2 that actually completely fits into the Starfighter. I know we had a set a little while back that had one that could fit it, but we haven't really had a Jedi Interceptor Episode 3 version that can fit an R2-D2 into the wing and still look right. There isn't really a whole lot more to say. It's another Interceptor, but it still looks fantastic. I will probably be buying this just for old time's sake. Next up, we have the V-Wing. Now, LEGO released one of these not too long ago. I believe it was an Imperial version of it. This new one doesn't look that much different. My guess would be this is probably going to be in the $20 price range. Same for the Interceptor, I'm guessing $20, $25 price range. But with all the new launchers, LEGO might up the price a little bit. The design is pretty cool. The figure, I'm not sure if that's new printing. I don't remember exactly what the other one looked like, but it doesn't look that much different. I don't think the helmet's new at all. I know the helmet shape isn't, but I'm not sure if it's new printing or not. And then another astromech droid. Hey, LEGO called an astromech droid instead of giving some random letter name to it that doesn't exist in the real universe. There isn't really a whole lot more to say. A lot of nice new red pieces. But yeah, I am not sure whether or not this includes 1 or 2 of the spring-loaded launchers. From what I can see from the picture, there's only 1 being shot, but if they had it on the wings, I imagine there would be 1 for each side. I don't know if it's in the center. It looks like it's coming out of the left wing, so there might be another one underneath the right wing. I don't know. Alright, the next set on our list is General Grievous's Wheel Bike. Now, this is a set we haven't seen for a while. They released one, I believe it was 2006 or 2007. I did manage to get my hands on it, but it's just destroyed now. It's nice to see that LEGO has released another one. It really fits in with the Utapau design of the battle pack, and I will definitely be putting these together in a lineup later on when I get them. As you can see, we have a new General Grievous design. The pieces are the same as the Clone Wars version, however they are now white rather than tan, and I believe the arms are not colored at all, which is nice because I've been wanting to get some of those completely uncolored arms, and it's nice to also see it in a smaller set. My guess was that this set would be anywhere from $20 to $30. Nice price would be $25, but we might see it being a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Also, we have Obi-Wan, who does not really have any new design. I believe that is the same one we got from the Clone Wars. The torso might be a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure it is the same design. We also have a staff, a Magna Guard staff. It looks okay. It's an okay design. The wheel bike itself has a very cool design. When you fold up the legs, it actually rolls. Now, this is something that was not featured in the original set. I believe you could get it to roll, but not as well as I'd imagine this one rolls. And then fold out the legs, and it actually has some interesting claw pieces. I believe they've been included in some Ninjago sets, but I'm not exactly sure. And it stands up a lot better than the old one looked like it did. Not really a whole lot more to say. It's a nice design, new way to get a clear wheel. I don't think that's ever been included in a set before. Looks kind of cool. Next up we have the Vulture Droid. Now, this is something LEGO has released a few times, the brown version of it with Anakin's Starfighter from the very first episode, the Naboo Fighter, I believe it was called. It's a pretty cool design. This one looks way better than some of the older ones we've seen. A lot of new slopes. Looks like a lot of stickers. I don't really mind stickers that much, but yeah. Some things that bug me, though, is that LEGO has put a pilot droid in the head. Now, those of you who know Star Wars well know that the majority of the droid fleet actually are droids themselves. They are not piloted by another droid. Vulture Droids, Tri-Fighters, etc. Are actually droids themselves, and they are not piloted by another droid. I can't complain too much to get another pilot droid. I'll probably just take it out, but it kind of bugs me a little bit that LEGO has done this. Also, there are two spring-loaded launchers and a buzz droid, which I believe is a new design. LEGO has never been very good at designing their buzz droids. They've never managed to design a a version that can roll up. But it's okay, I guess. And then also a Nemodian warrior. Now, those of you who know Star Wars, the Clone Wars well, know that the Nemodians are a part of the Galactic Banking Clan, and they are a large part of the Separatist fleet. They are a large part of the leaders and etc., like Nute Gunray. And it's kind of cool to see a Nemodian, aside from Nute Gunray, that has been included in a set. And then, for some reason, he has a musket. I guess that is the closest thing LEGO could get to a Nemodian's gun. But there's some nice printing on the legs and the torso. I will probably be getting 2 of these sets, so it's good to see a Nemodian. Next up, we have the Droid Gunship, and personally, this is probably one of my top 3 favorites of all the sets. This just looks fantastic compared to the last one we got way back in 2006 or 2007, was it? I don't remember exactly, but it's just a fantastic design. It looks so much better than the old one. Unfortunately, this also probably means a price increase. My guess for this set would be $40 or maybe even $50. It's a decent size, but I think it's worth it. There's also a decent amount of stickers. As you can see, LEGO has put in a lot of effort towards the design of, I guess, what you could call the head of the gunship. It has teeth design in the front and 2 of the ball turrets, as well as eyes. I'm not sure exactly if the Droid Gunship, I do not remember off the top of my head whether or not the Droid Gunship themselves are also droids, but I believe they are and are not piloted by droids, which kind of bugs me because that would mean that LEGO is again putting droids inside the inside other droids, which is kind of weird sounding, I guess. They also have 2 of the spring-loaded launchers, which look fantastic. They are a fantastic way to add to this set. They look great where they are. They also have what appear to be payload bombs that are dropped from below, similar to the Hyena bomber droid that we got a few years back. And then another highlight is that we get new Chewbacca. I don't remember exactly when Chewbacca was last released, but it was a long time back, and it's great to see a new Episode 3 version of Chewbacca. He looks fantastic. The printing is great. I love how LEGO has been releasing so many new molds with great printing on them. And then we also get another Scout Trooper, which is nice to see. It means I can get my hands on a few extras on top of the battle packs. Next up we have the AT-AP. Now we saw pictures of this a while back. Not as nice as these though. I think the design for this is great. Back when I first gave my thoughts on it, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it'd be. It just didn't look quite right. The stickers weren't included. It just didn't look as great as it does now. Another thing is, I believe it is ranked at $70, which is a lot in my opinion. The last one I believe was 30, maybe 40. 70 just seems like a lot for an AT-AP. They also increased the size a lot, like they did with the AT-RT, but not as badly as they did with the AT-RT. There appears to be an area inside. I jokingly said there's a time machine. There's got to be a time machine in there because it's so expensive. But it seems like a decent design. Inside, I believe you can put another figure. A nice way to store a bunch of figures up. And then also there is a Wookiee that I believe is Tarfel. I mean, it looks like Tarfel. I do not know why they have given him a musket. I think it would have made more sense to have a crossbow. But I can't complain too much. The figure looks fantastic, the printing on it. And then we also get 3 droids. And then also, probably the biggest part of the set that is most exciting is the new Kashyyyk version of Commander Gree. Now this figure is just fantastic. From the silver helmet to the printing design on the torso, it just looks absolutely fantastic. It even looks like they've designed some battle damage on it. It just looks amazing. LEGO has been releasing a lot of new fantastic designs. Alright, so next up we have the Droid Tri-Fighter. Now, this was one of the 2 sets that we did not see until, I believe, the pictures came out today. I'm not sure if this means that it will be a exclusive set, or if it's just that we haven't managed to get photos of it until more recently. But the new design is fantastic. I'm not too much of a fan of the idea that LEGO keeps putting droids inside droids, with the buzz droid inside. I guess they're just weird like that. But that is really where the droid brain would normally be. It doesn't really fit a whole lot. I can understand that they put it in there because it just seems to fit inside there, but it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then we also get a new Palpatine minifigure with handcuffs. I assume from around the time when Palpatine gets kidnapped early on in the Episode 3. And then we also get a security droid. I'm not sure if LEGO has released security droids with the red torso and the tannish accents on the front yet, but it's nice to see that because If it has been released, it's probably in a set I did not get because I do not have that figure. And then we have another one of the spring-loaded launchers. Again, I think these are great in most sets. I think it looks great in this one, although there are a few that just don't look right. Next, we have the Republic AV-7 anti-vehicle cannon. This set looks fantastic. My guess is it would probably be around... It's hard to say. It looks probably about the same size as the Umbara Walker that we got. I don't remember the exact name. That was around $50. My guess is this will probably be around $50, although based off the number of pieces, it could be as high as maybe 70, although I'm hoping it's around 50. A great highlight of the set is we have two Phase 2 Wolfpack Troopers. They look fantastic. I would have been more appreciative if LEGO had thrown in a Commander Wolf, but I can't really complain because they've been doing such a great job about releasing a lot of great new figs. So, also there's a Plo Koon. I do not think there is any new printing with that, but I may be wrong. In the picture that I'm looking at, it's a little bit hard to see his torso. And then a random Droideka, which doesn't really fit with the set, and LEGO has been releasing Droidekas in sets that don't really make a whole lot of sense. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that Droideka design. It looks a lot worse than previous designs. It, again, does not roll up like I would like it to. Yeah, I really don't like that Droideka. Also, before we continue, my estimation for the price of the Tri-Fighter would probably be anywhere from $20 to $30. We've had ones that are $20 and $30. I'm really hoping they'll go somewhere in between and go like 25, but it might be a little bit higher. It looks like there might be a lot more pieces than the last one. Lastly, we have the Coruscant Police Gunship. Now, we got pictures of this very recently. Something to note is on the box, this is the only set that has a piece count on it. Now, I'm not sure exactly why it has the piece count on this one and none of the other ones, but just something to point out, 481 pieces. Now, this is just a fantastic set. I love that they're continuing the Clone Wars, releasing Clone Wars sets, even though the Clone Wars has ended. And this just looks like a fantastic set, especially the figures. If you guys have watched the last few episodes of the Clone Wars, it just looks fantastic compared to the one in the actual episode. It looks very accurate. And then we have two spring-loaded launchers that have blue bullets. This is the only set that we have seen in the lineup that has blue bullets, if that's important to you. And then we get Anakin and Ahsoka, nothing really new there. Then we have two, this is just fantastic, two Shock Troopers. LEGO has not released Shock Troopers in a long time. The last time we saw it, I believe, was with the old AT-AP. Back then they had the different helmet design. These new ones look absolutely fantastic. I can't really say a whole lot more. The printing's just great. Again, they have printed torsos and legs. I'm very, very happy about all the great new designs that LEGO has been doing, and I will be very eager to check out this set when it actually comes out. And with that, I conclude the lineup of sets. I intentionally left out the micro fighter sets, I think they're called, because they don't really interest me a whole lot, but I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Also, my price guesses, my explanation for that is, if you look, even though we do not have piece counts, which is usually the best way to make a guess for the cost, we do have the age. Now, this really has never mattered a whole lot. Ages 6 to 4, or 6 to 12, 7 to 12. But if you pay attention well, you'll notice that sets that say 6 to 12 are usually in the $13, $14 range. They're usually under $20. And then with sets that have the age 7 to 12 is usually under $30. And then with the larger sets that are usually around the $30 to $50 range, says 8 to 14. And then lastly, again with the ATAP that is likely $70, it also says 8 to 14. That is my best guess for getting price ranges, although it can't be completely accurate. I might be a little bit off, but my guesses again for the sets would be Death Star Troopers, Kashyyyk Troopers, and Utapau Troopers are probably going to be $13. I'm hoping they'll keep battle packs at $13, although they might bump it up to $15 with the new launchers and a little bit higher piece counts. And then Battle of Saleucami, my guess is $25. It may be $30, although it looks about the same size as the Bark speeders with the sidecars sets. It doesn't have a sidecar, but there's the foliage and the trees and stuff like that are included in the set, so that might make up for that. The Jedi Interceptor, my guess would be $20 to $30 range. It's really hard to tell because LEGO has released $20 ones, and they've released $25 and even $30 ones, although my guess is they're going to be somewhere in between with $25. The same goes for the V-Wing Starfighter. It may be $20, $25. I'm guessing it probably won't be $30. My best guess for the Vulture Droid would probably be $20, maybe $25. The Droid Gunship, because it is a lot larger. The last one we had was $30, but this one looks a lot bigger, so I'm guessing it'll probably be $40, maybe even $50 for something of that size. The ATAP, I believe there was actually a point where it was announced that it would be $70, but I would prefer if LEGO were to release it for a little bit cheaper. It doesn't look like a $70 set. It looks a bit small for $70, but I can't complain too much. I have not seen detailed interior photos or anything like that. And then the Droid Tri-Fighter, my best guess is anywhere from $20 to $30. The Republic anti-vehicle cannon is a little bit hard to tell as well. It could be anything from $40 to $60, maybe even $70. It looks like a large set, although the legs are kind of thin, and the inside design, I don't know how many pieces are inside there. If there are a lot of pieces inside, it may be as high as 60. If it's got kind of a skeleton design around it, like LEGO has done with some sets, it may be $50 or even $40. And then lastly, the Coruscant Gunship, because we do have a piece count, 481 pieces, my best guess would be around $50. Always a reasonable guess for prices would be to move the decimal point one place, and that is usually how many dollars. So for example, a $500 or 500 piece set, move the decimal place once to the left, and it's usually around $50. Although with licensed themes, we tend to see a little bit higher, so with Star Wars, I'm imagining that a 481 piece set would be around $50, maybe $60. I'm really hoping it's going to stick at the $50 price, though. So with that, there really isn't a whole lot more to say. I'm very eager to get my hands on these sets. When they come out, I will probably be buying at least one of all of them, maybe even doubles of some of them. Definitely going to get a second Droid Gunship and a few extra battle packs, but we'll have to see. Thanks for listening. This concludes the special episode of Facecast. And do not forget to subscribe, thumbs up, like, favorite, subscribe. I already said subscribe. Bye.